I am the Deputy Registrar for International Arbitration and Mediation Center, Hyderabad. So this center is in the financial district in Hyderabad, and it was set up in 2021 for promoting alternate dispute resolution mechanisms. Now, what is ADR, alternate dispute resolution mechanisms? It is two ways to resolve disputes outside the court systems. One is arbitration and second is mediation. Now, arbitration is mainly for commercial disputes, civil disputes, where both the companies or both the parties will already have in their contract saying that any dispute that comes, we will resolve by arbitration. So that is one side of things that we do. Second is by mediation. Now, for mediation, there is no requirement that there has to be a clause, there has to be an agreement. Mediation can be done in all types of disputes, except for there are few exceptions like taxation disputes, criminal disputes. So those are the exceptions, but mediation is primarily, it also involves family disputes, which are major cases that are, clogging the court system, our judicial system. So the purpose of IAMC was set up to reduce the burden on the judicial system. So what we did, this was the first initiative that we took, or other than the commercial side of things, we decided to also train an ecosystem where mediation is useful even in family disputes. So we collaborated with an NGO in Invisible Scars, and we provided a 7-day training for social workers. So all these years we've been training lawyers mainly in mediation, but what is important is at the grassroots levels, these social workers are the people who are seeing disputes day in, day out, domestic violence disputes, gender disputes, disputes between parents and children, between elders, between different relatives. So all these disputes are not won't directly go to the lawyers. It will come sometimes through these NGOs, through these social workers. So what we did is we did a training where we equipped these social workers with the mediation skills to become a mediator, so that when they receive these disputes, at the first level, they can try and resolve these disputes.
Mediation అనేది ఎప్పుడు స్టార్ట్ అయింది? సో అప్పటిదాకా కంపేర్ చేసుకుంటే స్టిల్ సో చేంజెస్ ఎంతవరకు వచ్చాయి?
So mediation ఎప్పుడు స్టార్ట్ అయిందంటే it's not something that has just started. Although Mediation Act legalగా 2023లో it came about. ఇంకా it has to be notified, but the Mediation Act it came out in 2023. But in practice, especially in India culturally, mediation has been practicing in different forms. Like we've seen, if there's a fight between two people, family elders come and resolve those disputes. So it has been happening, but there has not, and there's MCPC, the Supreme Court also has taken a lot of initiatives in forming a mediation committee and having mediation centers in the court itself. What we are doing is, as a private institution, we want to make sure that the process of mediation is very credible, that everybody who undergoes a proper training for that specific issue, only they are appointed as mediators. And the whole process of mediation should gain more importance and prominence, because it shouldn't be looked at something like a sideline or something you have to just do so that you can enter the court system. It has to be given prioritize, and you have to try and do it with utmost sincerity. So this is why we wanted to bring about awareness, because lawyers, most of them are already aware of mediation, but social workers and all of them also have to be aware of this. We did this training for about 32 members all across India from different fields. Some of them were police constables, women safety wing workers, people working in health or sanitization, those kind of aspects as well. So, but they also see that people who come to them, there could be a marital dispute, a dispute with their in-laws, or some restrictions on their freedom. So because of that, the immediate reaction is to go to court. When you say, I'll file a case against you, I'll go to court, the opposite party also becomes very aggressive. They'll also say, I'll file another counter against you, and the matter gets escalated. So the purpose of mediation before going to court is to de-escalate the parties, try and resolve as many issues as possible even if not all are resolved before going to court. Sometimes there are 10 issues: property, child, many things. So some of them can be resolved even before going to court, and then maybe one or two issues which are not resolved, that can then be taken to court. So that way it even makes the parties a little more at ease, because instead of saying, I'll see you at court, or please, I will file a case against you in the court, if you request the other party to come for mediation, say, let us try mediation, then automatically the whole atmosphere of the dispute itself will be a little more toned down.
మీడియేషన్ అనేది ఇప్పుడు విలేజ్ లెవెల్లో కానీ డిస్ట్రిక్ట్ లెవెల్లో చూసుకుంటే సో అక్కడ ఉన్న పొలిటీషియన్స్ కానీ ఊళ్ళో ఉన్న పెద్దవాళ్ళు కానీ వీళ్ళు మాత్రం చేస్తుంటారు. సో ఈ మీడియేషన్ అనేది కోర్టుకి వెళ్ళాలి, మనం ఒక లాయర్ పెట్టుకోవాలని ఒక అవేర్నెస్ అనేది సో ఎంతవరకు ఇవ్వగలుగుతాం సొసైటీ నుంచి?
అదే, సో మీడియేషన్ అంటే దట్స్ వాట్ ఇట్స్ నాట్. ఇప్పుడు ఇంటర్నేషనల్గా చూస్తే మీడియేషన్, అ లాట్ ఆఫ్ పీపుల్ గివ్ a lot main importance to mediation. You have to undergo a mediation only by a recognized center. Only then they can, and if once they reach a settlement, or if they don't reach a settlement, a report will be given to court, and then they go to the court process and matter. So this is not happening in India yet, because there are no credible systems. So it has to be recognized by the government. For example, IAMC is a state-funded entity. It's a public charitable trust. It is funded by the state government, and it has a lot of credibility because it was set up by former Supreme Court judge, and the trustees are former Supreme Court judges, and the law minister of the state, the chief justice of the state, are also the board of trustees. So when you have institutions with credibility and people come for mediation here, the quality of mediation is enhanced. We'll take them through the entire process of mediation. Even when it comes to appointment of mediator, we will make sure they have undergone the training, they have the subject knowledge of the mediation, and only then appoint them as mediators.
ఈ మీడియేషన్ ట్రైనింగ్ తీసుకోవాలంటే ఎడ్యుకేషన్ క్వాలిఫికేషన్ ఎలా ఉండాలి, ఎంత డ్యూరేషన్ పడుతుంది, దీనికి మన ఫీజు?
Okay, so there are no qualifications. It's general misconception is only lawyers can do mediation training, but that is not the case. For example, that's why we did this, to say that anybody can do mediation training. You have to undergo the 40 hours mandate. Sometimes based on the subject, it can be for even more. For example, we did one for insolvency professionals for company matters. So for them, we did 5 days. For family mediation, we did 7 days. So depending on the course, we'll do the mediation training and matter. And there a lot of times, for example, this training was completely funded by CSR. So the NGO workers didn't have to pay anything. It was the corporate social responsibility that funded this. But so depending on if it's a corporate training, then there will be some amount of registration fee.
మేము ఐటీ సెక్టర్ చూసుకున్నా కానీ, లైక్ ఫ్యామిలీ సెక్టర్ చూసుకున్నా కానీ, ఈ మీడియేషన్ కేసెస్ అనేది ఇయర్లీ కానీ మంత్లీ కానీ ఎన్ని వస్తున్నాయి, సో ఎన్ని సాల్వ్ అవుతుంది?
సో ఎన్ని వస్తున్నాయంటే, సో till now, up till date, for IAMC, we've got approximately 60 mediation matters, and we've seen a settlement rate of 71%. So that is the general statistics, but it will take time, because the center was also set up only 3 years, and awareness is still growing. And we are also in capacity building stage, where we want to create mediators who are experts in different fields, who have undergone the process. So right now we are focusing on training and on building awareness. So by the time we see cases come in, it will take a couple of more years.
ఇప్పుడు ఒక పర్సన్ వచ్చేసి మాకు ప్రాబ్లం ఉంది, మీరు మాకు హెల్ప్ చేస్తారు, ఒక మీడియేషన్ పర్సన్ చెప్తే, సో కొంతమంది కమర్షియల్ తీసుకుని దాన్ని ప్రొలాంగ్ చేస్తున్నారు. సో అలాంటి ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ను ఎలా సొల్యూషన్ చెప్పొచ్చు, దానికి ఇక్కడ స్టాప్ చేయొచ్చు?
So when they come for mediation, the first instance, we'll first understand the dispute that is there, and whether it can be resolved by mediation. Endante law prakaram there are few exceptions kuda. So if it can be done, if mediation can be first done, then we will reach out to the other party anamata. Once we speak to the other party, and both of them have to agree to do mediation. Main thing in mediation is both the parties can agree. It's not like court where it is you're forced to come, other party. So both have to agree kada. So once both of them agree on mediation, only then we will proceed anamata. So and even when we start mediation, we'll tell them as per our rules, ma institution rules prakaram, we have to try and finish mediation within 90 days. So we will inform the parties, we will take 90 days to finish the mediation. If it does not complete in 90 days, the parties have the option. Throughout the mediation, they can walk out anytime. But so we'll tell them it's 90 days is the process that we do.
కొంతమంది కమర్షియల్ బిజినెస్ కూడా దీన్ని ప్లాన్ చేద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నాను. సో
అంటే
దాని గురించి ఇప్పుడు ఒక పర్సన్ లేకుంటే మీరు డబ్బులు ఇస్తే సెట్ చేసి అట్లా ఉంటుంది కదా. సో కమర్షియలైజ్గా ఉంటే దాన్ని ఎలా స్టాప్ చేయొచ్చు?
No, and that's why institution credibility is very important, because commercial we can't go oversee all mediation centers that are coming up, but public awareness is important to who they are going for mediation. If they go to anybody without any name or credibility, then they might face issues, because then mediation is not done in the proper manner. It's not done in a neutral manner. But if it is done by a credible institution, you know the organization, you know that they are accountable to the government, they are accountable to people, then the credibility automatically comes. So the main thing is that public awareness should be there to not go and do mediation just anywhere. They have to do it in a proper process that is done by an institution.
I am AJ Jawad. I am the registrar of the International Arbitration Mediation Center, Hyderabad, which is situated at Gachibowli. See, the idea of establishing the IAMC was basically to provide, world-class dispute resolution services like mediation and arbitration to Indian businesses, companies that are situated in India and particularly in Hyderabad and Telangana. Because what we have been seeing for a long time is that many even Indian companies who have a contract in India, they go to Singapore or they go to London or they go to Paris to resolve their disputes. So we wanted to provide the same facilities that these international institutions provide in India itself, in particularly in Hyderabad, so that Hyderabad also becomes the hub of dispute resolution. And the whole idea was because ease of dispute resolution is integral to ease of doing business. So once this kind of an infrastructure and other facilities are established, it will also attract investment into Hyderabad. So that was the objective for establishing IAMC. Now, apart from dealing with the commercial disputes relating to the IT sector, to various other corporates that are set up here, we also thought that as part of our social and moral obligation, we should provide our know-how, our technical knowledge and skills to also address the social issues that come up, family issues, social issues. So when we were approached by Invisible Scars, which is an NGO which is working with domestic violence victims, with the request that we conduct a mediation training program for social workers who are working in the domestic sector. So we saw an opportunity for fulfilling our social obligation, and we agreed to conduct the mediation training. Now, this was a very unique mediation training because unlike the normal 40 hours mediation training that is usually done, we decided to conduct a 70-hour training which extended for 7 days, and a very intensive training. Normally, mediation training we have seen is offered only to, mostly lawyers get trained in mediation. So we decided that even social workers who are actually working at the domestic, at the grassroots level, should also be trained in these techniques and skills to resolve disputes that come to them by applying these techniques and skills. Because hitherto they have been dealing with all these issues, but without the technical expertise on how exactly to conduct the mediation process. Because mediation is a very scientific, very nuanced process. So how to utilize this process to help people to find solutions to their problems. So with that objective, we conducted this training program.
We'll say mediation situations, IT sector and family sector.
See, IT sector, there is any commercial dispute that comes up in the IT sector. It might be even disputes between two companies. It might be disputes arising out of intellectual property, trademark, or basically patenting, passing off and all that. It might be contractual disputes that come up between two companies. It might be workplace conflicts that come up between employees who are working for the company. So all these disputes we handle through the process of mediation. And if there is an arbitration clause or parties agree to go for arbitration, we also assist them in conducting the arbitration. So we do the...
Family sector, Hybiz.
The family sector, it is basically, there might be different kinds of disputes in the family sector. It may not be just restricted to matrimonial issues. It might be between parents and children. It might be between brothers and sisters. It might be family businesses. It might be division of property within the family. It might be cases of, where, within the family itself, children and parents might have issues. So all these kind of disputes are capable of being resolved through mediation. So,
After this trading, sir, how they are surviving, sir, in trading persons?
see, whatever work they have been doing at a social level in addressing these issues, they will be using these mediation skills now to find solutions to the problems that people are facing. Okay.
They have any salaries?
See, they are working already. They are working for either non-governmental organizations or social service organizations. They are already working. They are already there in that space. Okay. So this is only an added skill for them. Okay, it's an added skill for them to be able to perform their job in a much better way, in a more skillfully, in a technically skillful manner. Because this training encompassed in it, for example, trauma-informed mediation, how to deal with the victims of trauma, people who have been having some traumatic experience. We included gender sensitization in it. So all these aspects, psychological aspects were included in this. So with all these skills, with the communication and negotiation skills that they acquired through this training, they will be in a much better way to do the jobs that they have been doing already.
How will you take these persons, sir? Any education qualification, any age requirement?
No. See, the thing is, this was done by Invisible Scars. Okay, so they had a screening process by which they interviewed the applicants, because they had some 88 applicants. So they screened them for the kind of work that they are doing, their track record, the areas of work that they are doing, the nature of work that they are doing. So based on all these things, and based on how basically on their past performance and what kind of work they have been doing, they were selected. So 32 people were selected and they were given this training.
How many cases resolved, sir, still?
See, we have just finished the training. Okay, so they have now gone into their respective fields. Okay, so they have to do the work now, and we'll have to see at a later point of time how successful it is functioning.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much.